Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive, right? And today's topic is Clan Kelly
Yeah.
from Watch Dogs, Legion.
Okay.
And what's so cool about this is that we actually get to hear, like, kind of straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak,
Right?
about this group because there's this in-game podcast hosted by
Yeah.
someone named Joey Kelly,
Okay.
who is a member of Clan Kelly.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like we're getting,
Yeah.
the insider information.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember, like, with Watch Dogs, Legion, I mean, the setting is a fictionalized, like, near future London.
Yeah.
And, this London is controlled by this, like, really heavy-handed surveillance state.
Right.
It's run by this private military corporation called Albion.
Oh, right.
So, to understand groups like Clan Kelly, I think it's really important to have that backdrop in mind.
Totally, yeah. I mean, like having Albion as this like overarching, kind of force that really paints a picture of like what these other groups are going to be up against.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's talk about this Joey Kelly character.
Okay.
He's described as being gritty and conversational
Right.
when he speaks,
Yeah.
which, I mean, okay.
Well, I mean, I don't think we're dealing with some kind of like polished, PR-approved Clan Kelly
Yeah, exactly.
representative here.
Right, exactly. Like this is not some, corporate mouthpiece or anything like that.
Right.
So it really does make his perspective, I think, all the more valuable to us.
Compelling.
Yeah, compelling. That's a good word.
But it also means, we need to kind of keep in mind that he's got his own biases.
Right.
Everyone has biases.
Yeah, of course.
And Joey's going to present Clan Kelly
Absolutely.
in the way that they see themselves, or at least in a way that serves his purposes.
Exactly. And that's a great point. I mean, like, what are his purposes? I mean, is he trying to, recruit new members to the clan through this podcast? Or is he trying to, like, warn people off?
Right. Or is there something else going on entirely?
Yeah.
I mean, he does have this reputation as a bit of a rabble-rouser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that kind of rebellious energy, it might be the driving force behind Clan Kelly as a whole.
Right.
Or maybe it's just, Joey's personal style.
Yeah.
And I think understanding that is really key.
Right.
Understanding how Clan Kelly operates.
Okay, so if that kind of rebellious energy is coming through in his voice, what are they actually doing in the game? Like, are they taking on Albion directly?
Well, we know that Watch Dogs Legion gives players a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
In terms of how they actually want to interact with all these different factions.
Okay.
So Clan Kelly's actions are probably going to vary a lot depending on the player's choices. But I think it's pretty safe to assume
that they are involved in some way in resisting Albion's control.
Right.
They could be hacking surveillance systems, sabotaging Albion operations, maybe protecting people who can't protect themselves.
Right, so they're kind of like this like underground resistance movement.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's where things get really interesting for, like the player. You know? Imagine you're playing the game.
Right.
And you encounter Clan Kelly.
Yeah.
This podcast we're talking about, it's like, it's not just background noise anymore.
Yeah.
It's almost like you've already met Joey Kelly.
Yeah.
Even if it's just through his voice.
Exactly.
And so how does that, like, color your perception of him and of Clan Kelly? Do you trust them?
Yeah. Do you trust them more?
Do you trust them less?
Less.
Are you more inclined to join them? Or do you see, like, warning signs?
Yeah. I think those are the kinds of questions
I think so, too.
that Watch Dogs Legion is trying to get you to ask
Absolutely.
about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so compelling.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
And we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
All right.